Well, Jeff, it's great being with you again for an episode of Jeff Squared. How are things going?
Things are going well, Jeff. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Good. So, what happened this weekend? Anything good going on?
No, I kind of took it easy. I had classes every day last week, so I got a chance to sleep in till about 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. So it was good. How about you? How about
You
you?
slept in until 6 a.m. Okay,
Yeah.
that's yeah. Oh, it was okay. A hot water tank went out. Had to take a cold shower. Had to call the plumber and get a brand new one put in. So,
Oh, interesting. That sounds expensive. Was it a lot?
are you asking me how much it cost me?
Yeah, I mean, I know you have plenty of money. Money's no issue, but
So, your question, Jeff, is interesting because we're going to talk about asking that question, how much things cost, because I did ask that question and it was a lot of money, but it had to be done. So, but it was a natural question for me. But I think we need some help with this issue of when a caller connects with you and they want to know how much your service costs. We should figure this out. And Jeff, as always, you and I don't have the answers. We need an expert to share some of these ideas with us. We both know someone who was around when telephones were invented.
yeah, and he's much older and much wiser than us. So let's bring him
Much
on.
older, yes. He's in our waiting room. Let's have him come in and we'll talk to him.
Hey, Steve.
Steve, you didn't hear that, I hope.
No, of course not. I'm deaf as a post.
Well, thank you for joining us. I think Jeff's going to start us off with a few questions about this how much issue.
Why is that the first question that people almost always ask, especially if it's a service business? How much do you charge?
You are so right. First time callers, Jeff, are nervous and they're skeptical. So why do they ask how much? Because honestly, they don't know what else to ask. And most importantly, they don't want to be easy. They want to at least appear to be cautious. So they fall back on their most common question, the only thing they really know how to ask, which is, how much do you charge?
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I know I see cleaners sometimes choking on that because they're not the least expensive. They may be the most expensive. And so, with that question, how much do you charge? How would you respond to that? I mean, you need to respond quickly to that. So, how would you do that?
Well, when people call and say how much, the first thing to do is do not try to avoid the question. Don't do this blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you how great we are. The whole time that you're doing the blah, 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 the customer, the prospect is going to be thinking, I'm impatient. Let's get to the point. How much do you charge? Instead, you use what I call my two-step permission to proceed sequence. In other words, the first thing you do is a positive affirmation. No matter what they ask you, normally, how much do you charge? The first thing you say is, I can help you with that. That is an incredible positive moment of truth because they go, oh, at last, somebody's going to answer my question. The second thing you say is you ask permission to proceed by saying, may I ask you a few questions? So you got that first thing? I can help you with that. May I ask you a few questions? And you would logically reply, yes.
That makes sense.
Well, I feel good about this conversation now. Now what, Steve? What's next?
Well, you used a very important word there, Jeff. You said conversation. What I want to get into is a back and forth with the caller instead of what I call price click. And you know what I mean when I say price click. They say how much, you say 40 cents a square foot, or knowing you, more likely $6 a room. And then they go, oh, thank you very much, click. Now, instead, what we're going to do is that we're going to involve the customer or the prospect using what I call valid business questions. Why? Because sales experts tell us that the longer you can force a customer to stay on the phone, it forces them to invest their time in the conversation. And the only way they can get a return on that investment is to continue the process with you and book the job. And at the same time that I'm keeping you on the phone, I'm also building a professional relationship and I'm showing personal interest in you.
So Steve, good information, except you were off on the how much I charge per room. It wasn't quite that much, $6, but I was looking to get there eventually.
$4.95, right?
Yes.
Of course,
You seem like
that was back in the 1950s when you were in business, and that was worth a lot more back then.
Hey, Jeff Cutshall, make a note that Steve's no longer coming on our show.
Yeah, that's noted last time.
So this is good information, Steve. After interviewing the caller with valid business questions, how do you then close the sale?
You know, I don't have to, because if you follow my phone format, it's what I call progressive closing. In other words, I'm taking you down this road, and the whole way along, I'm doing assumptive closing, just assuming that I'm going to do this job for you, showing my personal interest along the way. And then we get to where I just ask for the order, because the whole time I have been mentally sorting you. Am I going to do a on-site pre-inspection? Am I going to price you over the phone for a small job? Or a new thing I'm promoting in my seminar is doing a remote video pre-inspection. Whichever way I want to take you, I just ask for the order. And you'll be amazed if you do this, how many people actually forget what their original question was, which was, how much do you charge? So, Jeff, if you want, we could just do a quick run through and let me show you how this thing works in practice if you want to call me.
All right. Let me get my phone. Okay, hold on. I've got your number, so hold on a second.
Wow, that's a colorful phone, Jeff. What model is that? That's a new one. I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
Fisher Price. Yeah.
Fisher Price. Okay.
Okay, I'm calling you, Steve.
Okay, ring, ring, ring. I'm going to answer the phone. Thank you for contacting Concepts of Value Cleaning. This is Steve Toburen. How may I help you?
We need to get our carpet cleaned, and I wondered when you could do it and how much it would cost.
I can help you with that. May I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Have we worked for you before?
No.
Okay. Well, great. We love new customers. Now, is the work in or near the Columbus area?
We're right outside Columbus, about 10 miles.
Great. That's definitely in our market area. Now, are there any special areas of concern I should note on your work order?
Yes, we had a party recently, and Jeff Cutshall came over with his family, and they made a huge mess, spilled wine and beer all over the carpet. So hope you can fix it.
We banned Jeff's family from our house years ago. Now, are we working with any special time frame? Do you need this work completed by a certain date?
By next weekend would be good.
Great. So what we've done here, Jeff, if you noticed, again, I first of all gave a positive affirmation. I can help you with that. Then I got permission to proceed. May I ask you a few questions? And then I asked my valid business questions. Have we worked for you before? Is a huge key point determining which way the conversation will go. And then the whole way along, I'm asking myself, based on these answers, including the approximate area where you live, am I going to do a on-site pre-inspection? Am I going to do a price over the phone and book the job route? Or am I going to do a remote video pre-inspection? Whichever way I decide, I now close the sale by asking for the order. And we're done.
Yeah, I feel silly holding this. I'm going to hang up my phone now.
Fair enough.
And that sounds good, Steve, but I think we all know at that point what oftentimes happens is, well, I need to check with my husband, I need to check with my wife, or let me think about it and I'll get back with you. So then how do you proceed from there?
Absolutely. That's a common issue. And what I want to tell you is don't let them get away. Don't stop. Keep pushing. And I've got a guaranteed phone format on how to do that. But what I'm looking at right now is that I know Mr. Cross likes to keep these segments short. So if you guys will invite me back, I'll be happy to share how to answer that. What I call it's a smokescreen objection. They